Alright, today's video is on organization. Now you say to yourself, that's a pretty organized toolbox, or at least upper drawer of a toolbox. And I would typically agree, and I've been agreeing for quite some time now. However, I've recently subscribed to a fairly new YouTuber. His name's Doug, and he goes by the name of One-Eyed Customs. Which was actually found through another YouTube channel that I was watching, Hometown Acres, and also found Spicer Designs, I believe it is. They're all like buddies that have kind of met through YouTube, and they collab together and whatnot. However, recently watching one of his videos gave me a great idea. I even commented on his video. Well, I guess he didn't give me an idea, he literally just gave me direction, I should call it. And we're inside my tool trailer here that I just did a video on recently in the last month. Up on the channel, should be like 2 videos back if you look at the videos by time. And I showed kind of a tour of this trailer that we're in right now. Check out that video if you want to see the whole trailer. But top drawer is something I go to very often and usually first. Reason being is if you're working on a vehicle, the first thing you're usually doing is looking for sockets. For the gun, you know, you got your impact gun, and you're going to go take the wheels off. As a matter of fact, I still got a socket sitting here, and as you can see right now, part of the reason that this video is happening, what I'm dealing with right there. So, let me put this gun back, and we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this video and what I'm doing. He has an unbelievable shop, and it's organized beyond anything I can ever imagine. But I could see if I had enough time, or I shouldn't say I have enough time because it saves time, but I just haven't had the dedication yet to get to that point as much as I'd like to. I'm not saying I won't. I just haven't. So let's call it procrastinating at this point. But one of my main things, again, is this drawer is, as I just mentioned, the first one that I open when I'm working on something, usually if it's a vehicle. And we're inside of a trailer here, so space is kind of limited. So what I end up having to do is open this box up all the way to the max to get to my sockets that are in the back, the main, you know, the heavy-duty sockets, which is usually how I would think that you'd want to have it arranged. However, he brought me to the idea of kind of having more your used more often or most often used tools to be in the front. Reason being, you just open your drawer, you can just kind of grab what you need without having to actually go that deep into the back. So you should have more your most useful tools in the front and work your way back. You know, if you do have to open the drawer all the way up, you're getting something that you're not using as often. And again, now I've got the exact opposite working here. With my sockets in the back, with my impact sockets, that is. I've got other sockets, you know, big sockets here. This is, again, like the opposite. These are specialty sockets that I don't use often at all. These should be in the back. These should be in the front. Oh, another reason that I'm doing this is, I don't know if you could tell on this video or not, but I have these 2 socket trays actually angled. There's a block of wood behind the back of each one, just to allow them to cheat so I can get the sockets out. And I have to literally just open this drawer to the very, very max. And even with some of the bigger sockets, it can be a little challenging, like over here. And as I drive around with the trailer, these do shift a little bit. I have put some tape in them, hoping that they, you know, like some duct tape under there, so they don't move much, but they do shift just enough where it becomes, I have to take this whole rack and like bend it to get my socket off. So that solves this problem as well. I can have them in the front here. Hopefully I'll still be able to see the numbers on them okay, being that they're right here and you're on top of them. You can kind of read these from a top view as well as a side view, the way they have them at an angle. So hopefully it shouldn't be a big deal, but I know that it's definitely going to be a big benefit having them here. Let's have at it. Let's see how it works out. right, that's what I ended up with. I think that took me a total of 20 minutes. Kind of cleaned it out a little bit as I was going. I did want to wipe this stuff down a little bit more, maybe individually, the sockets and whatnot, because there's a layer of grease on everything, especially these handles. Look at how filthy those are. So probably going to spend a little more time doing that, but I didn't want to have that in the video. But I kind of accomplished what I wanted here. Biggest thing was the socket placement. Now I had them all the way up against the front of the drawer, but that was making it difficult to reach in and get the smaller. I mean, the deep well sockets are no problem. And what would have happened if I turned them around and had the smaller ones on the inside where I could pull the top ones out, I mean the tall ones here and those short ones in the front or in the back, I wouldn't be able to see the labels. And I do like that. I do like being able to see that. I try to keep metric on left, standard on the right, kind of because you pretty much always use metric first. So like as you're starting a page in a book, you're reading from the left to the right, usually grabbing metric first, and then obviously you've got standard second. That works the same way with this row of sockets in here. These are just cheapy Pittsburgh swivel impacts, but they are metric, and then they are standard here. So this would be like 3/4, and then this would be, I think 17 is the biggest. Yeah, 17 is the biggest in millimeter. So that's these two little sets, but that works out well because it puts them right between this tray and this tray and kind of holds them in there because I don't really have a tray for those, and that was the perfect length. So I think that worked out really well. So what I did is I shifted these back just a little bit, as you saw, put my two, my pry bar and my my large 1/2-inch ratchet. It doesn't fit as nicely as I'd like in here. I mean, it's kind of a little clunky. Oh, that's a little better. That actually holds in good. I don't know what I'm doing with this knife yet. It's just kind of kicking around. But that worked out because I had to use this space anyways up here. And that is something that I do need to grab fairly quickly if I'm, busting a couple of bolts loose or something. You need that breaker bar. Or if I don't want to use an air tool, I can just grab my ratchet and an impact if we're starting off maybe doing some suspension or something like that. And then, if you got your implements here, basically your extensions, all close reach, then you've got your basic set here. This has metric and standard. This is the Milwaukee set. That's your 3/4 or 3/8 inch. Then we got our 1/4 inch right here. Again, metric and standard, deep and shallow, with their own ratchets. And then I've got secondary ratchets that kind of have their own little function, swivel type ratchets for both 3/8 and 1/4 inch. And then I've got the flex heads, same thing, 3/8 and 1/4 inch. And then I've got a snap-on ratchet that I've just had forever. I actually had it rebuilt recently, found a snap-on truck, tracked them down, they rebuilt it right on the spot for me, which was nice. So I do use that for like the heavy-duty stuff because it's really, snap-on ratchets are really tough. So, and I just got, these are just odds and end type of sockets, specialty sockets and little doodads, swivels, spark plug sockets, lug wrench, just all kinds of individual type of stuff, O2 sensor socket, axle nut sockets. These are our bigger and awkward size sockets in the back here. That's a good place for them. I don't use them that often, but I'll still be able to access them from here. And this, the way these are placed in, kind of holds everything in. I like this a lot. I think going down the road, everything's going to stay in nice. It did before. It was just these were shifting a little because they were at that angle, so it made them move a little. I think this is a good setup. Got the things in the back used least. These I do use fairly common, but that's not too bad. At least I don't have to open the drawer all the way up. I can kind of get to here and grab what I need, along with ratchets and whatnot here. So I think that was pretty good. I just went into that blind and just kind of went for it, and that's what I ended up with. All right, guys, that's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.